Hey guys, it's me again. Welcome back to my channel. I am back. Yes, I've been gone for almost all year. Yes, it's almost October. We're in mid-September at the time of the filming. I don't know when this video is going to go up. I'm here for a book haul of all the books I've bought this year alone in 2019. Just in case you're asking yourselves, where have you been? Well, basically life happened. I moved, so this is another house that I bought. My bookshelves are still not completely up. You see two of them in the background. There's more over there. My mom has been in and out of the hospital again. We moved like 3 times. I was in temporary housing for a while, and now I bought this house, and now you're up to speed on my life. Who cares about me and my life? Let's get down to the book haul, because that is why you're here. Books. And that is why I'm here. For books. First book I have here is Haunted by James Herbert. This is an adult haunted house story. I got it because it's a house and it's haunted. And haunted is one of my buzzwords that I buy. So my buzzwords are usually ghosts, demon, haunted, witches, anything paranormal. Then I got A Head Full of Ghosts by Paul Tremblay. This is an adult horror book. I think it's about a possession. Horror Booktube has been raving about this for the past 2 years, I think. I think Stacy from Stacy's Stories read this, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe it was Missy from Binge Reader. They think it's fantastic, and it is blurred by Stephen King. So Stephen King is the man, he's the king. A middle grade book, and this is called Nightmares by Jason Segel and Kristen Miller. And I don't know anything about this book except that nightmares. I love nightmares. Nightmares are the best friend. A girl's best friends are nightmares. I love nightmares. I'll read anything, middle grade, whatever. You'll see later on that I also have some children's picture books to show you because I'm a big fat dork. Next book is a book that I won on Instagram. Library in Progress. She was having a giveaway on Instagram and I won No, this is not. Lock Every Door by Riley Seeger. I had read his other book. I read Final Girls, which I loved, and I was really happy to win this one. All I know it's an adult thriller and I don't know anything else, and that's okay because I don't really want to know anything about my books. Suffer the Children by Craig Deluey. I bought it because of the creepy cover. There's something wrong with the children, and my guess is that they're vampires or they're the undead, because that would be like the most common thing to do with children is make them into little vampires or zombies. This is also an adult novel, Barely Balanced. This is book 2. And I didn't realize it was book 2. They said it's a graphic novel. It's not really. It's just a story with pictures. The story behind this book is that I really like the Barely Balanced. The Renaissance fairs is where I go to see them, and I love them. They're my favorite event. They're my favorite people there at the Renaissance fair. So I support them anywhere I can, and so I bought their graphic novel, which is a book. I don't know what it's about, but it's probably about them and their adventures. Out of This World, A Visual Journey Through the Universe. And I love looking up at the stars at night and the universe, and I love these pictures. I find them fascinating. The astonishing illustrated history of fantasy and horror, movies, TV, streaming, art, comics, pulp magazines, and fiction. And it's basically a book that talks about all things sci-fi and horror. And I think they were on sale for like $5 at Barnes & Noble. The next book I have here is not a book, it is a notebook. And it is a very flowery notebook. I normally don't like flowers. This notebook is special because it was given to me by my friend who is a high priestess. I was thinking about like making it my Book of Shadows or grimoire, even though I'm not really anything. Back to regular books. Oh, ¿dónde están los demás? Oh, never mind. Okay, so I have Tru Blood. It's a comic book. This is number 5. I have 1, 2, and 3 down there, but they're in my already read pile. So when I bought them, I didn't realize how many they were, and the order, I was just kind of like grabbing them. I'm a big dum-dum, and I didn't realize I bought 1, 2, 3, and 5, and did not get book 4 or 6. I love the TV series Tru Blood. I still have not read the original novel series by Charlene Harris. They're over there hanging out, waiting for me to pick them up one day. I've been listening to some podcasts lately, and there's 2 supernatural podcasts that I listen to. One of the guys from the podcast worked on True Blood, the TV show. He's an actor, and also writes comics and comic books and graphic novels. I'm really into his podcast right now. So that's why I decided to buy these comic books, because of him. Michael McMillan, and he played Reverend Newland. And so he has a podcast now called The Bigfoot Collectors Club. That's my side story. That's really boring. Cryptozoology, A to Z. ¿Dónde chingados está el otro? Oh, I think it's over there. Okay, sorry. Cryptozoology, A to Z, the encyclopedia of Loch Ness monsters, Sasquatch, chupacabras, and other authentic mysteries of nature by Lauren Coleman and Jerome Clark. So you know that one podcast I was just telling you about, the Bigfoot Collectors Club? They talk a lot about cryptids. And I know Stacy from Stacy's Stories loves cryptids. Stacy, if you have not listened to that podcast, listen to that. That and a Funny Feeling podcast. Those 2 podcasts are my favorite right now. You have to listen to them. They're fantastic. Everybody else, if you're not into it, ignore what I just said. Cryptozoology is like the Loch Ness Monster and Bigfoot and chupacabras. Just animals that exist, but they don't really, but maybe they do. Like unicorns. I can make an argument for the existence of unicorns, by the way. I have made up my mind. Unicorns are real. Hey Kiddo by Jared Krosokska. Oh man, sorry about the last name. Krosokska. How I Lost My Mother, Found My Father, and Dealt with Family Addiction. This is a graphic novel. It is a YA graphic novel, I believe. It's like a memoir also, I think, because I think this is based on this true story. So it's like a memoir graphic novel thing. Cheshire Crossing by Andy Weir and Sarah Anderson. I love Sandra. I love Sarah Anderson's doodles and books. She has a little series of books where she draws like these cute little things. They're adorable, and I love her drawing. This is very different from what I'm used to seeing of her doodles of her other books. Written by Andy Weir, who wrote The Martian and the other book that I haven't read. Actually, I haven't read The Martian either, so I haven't read any of his books. But one of them's a movie. I guess it's like a retelling of Dorothy, Alice, and Wendy, or maybe their worlds collide or meet something. I heard it on BookTube just the other day. I don't really know too much about it, but I love retellings and fairy tale thingies. I'm not a huge Alice person, but it's because I don't understand it. Apparently I have to be on mushrooms or something to get it. Horror cinema, the best scary movies of all time. All the horror movies, and I love horror movies. I'm not that up to date on all my horror movies though. I haven't seen a lot of them. Adventures in Cryptozoology, Hunting for Yetis, Mongolian death worms, and other not so mythical monsters by Richard Freeman. This is another cryptozoology book. Actually, I got this book and the other book at the Bristol Renaissance Fair. I didn't realize they had cryptozoology books at the Renaissance Fair, and I was really excited to see those, and I picked them up. Mythology, Creation Stories, Gods, Heroes, Monsters, Mythical Places by Philip Wilkinson. I got this at Barnes & Noble. I bought it because it was probably on sale. The Monster Book, Creatures, Beasts, and Fiends of Nature by Nick Redfern. There's probably a lot of cryptoids in here, to be fair. Legendary Ladies, 50 Goddesses to Empower and Inspire You by Anne Sheen. It has beautiful little illustrations about different goddesses from around the world. It is very inspiring. There's a lot of mythology from different goddesses, like Iba a decir Quetzalcoatl, pero Quetzalcoatl is a man. Oye, no puedo pronunciar esto. Okay, this one is Aztec. She's a goddess. Mira, I speak Spanish, pero some of these Aztecs are Nahuatl names I cannot pronounce. Calhuitliqui. Calhuitliqui. Let's see. Como Italy is not Psyche. Okay, Psyche is here. Gaia is here. Quetzalcoatl is un hombre. And it doesn't even say how to pronounce her name, which is sad. Actually, I think it does, but I think it's in the back. Or we can just Google. Okay, aquí está una. Xochiquetzal. Xochiquetzal, a lot easier to say. There's a lot of girls with the name Xochitl, named after like Xochiquetzal. Xochitl means flower in Nahuatl and the Aztec language. And we'll just ignore of my stumbling of the other goddess. She'll forgive me, I hope. The magical history of mermaids, because I'm really into mythical creatures right now. And this is also very gorgeous. I got this at half price books. Beautiful illustrations. Just beautiful. Just so gorgeous. Love these. So pretty. Again, I'm on a weird mythical creature kick. Hi. The Magical History of Unicorns by Thorne. And again, very beautiful, beautiful illustrations. So gorgeous. So pretty. Sorry about the weird glare. Well, that one's not that pretty. Hold on. There you go. The Little Book of Unicorns, Unicornucopia, by Laura by Caitlin Doyle, and illustrated by Laura Corzon. And this one also has, these are more like little sayings. They're just like really cute sayings of unicorns and a little bit of the unicorn history. It even has like how to make like a unicorn party and a unicorn cake and unicorn costume, stuff like that. A little bit of angels, an introduction to spirit guidance by Elaine Clayton. I'm not a religious person, but something did happen to me a while back. I call them angels, although I don't really think that they're like the angels with the wings like in Christianity. I was reading this and I really liked it. I thought it was really cute. It's very simple. Just, you know, just a little bit. I've actually have a little collection of these cute little books of things. Where's the other one? I have a little book of fairies, Bruins, Wicca. Like there's, they have chakras. All type of like spiritual awakening type of little books. And I think there's 20 in this series, and they all look like this. And they're really cute and small, and I just love them. This is Haunted by Chuck Palahniuk. The first story in here is the most disturbing story ever. Michelle from Bookworm Sewist tried to read this, I think last year, and I warned her, I'm like, girl, that first story is intense. And to be fair, the other stories are not as intense, but the situation gets more and more intense, and the mentality of the people in here. Because okay, so the story, the story is about a bunch of writers. They're sent to a house, and they're like novelists, and they have to write short stories, and they have to write like really creepy, like horror type short stories. And then the person that's keeping them there is also like, in a sense, somewhat torturing them, and they start dying off, and weird things start happening, and they're like writing their story. So it's kind of like a book of like madness. If you've read Chuck Palahniuk before, this is very Chuck Palahniuk-ish. Chuck Palahniuk writes satire-ish horror adult books. Horns by Joe Hill. I love Joe Hill. Again, I think I just read a book that I did not like of his, but I usually do like his books. I've read Horns like 2 or 3 years ago, but I didn't have the book, so now I bought the book, so now I have it. I saw the movie, and I really liked the movie as well. and it's an adult horror book about a guy who people start telling him their sins, and he has horns, but nobody else can see the horns, but he can see the horns in the mirror. And there's a mystery of like where his girlfriend has gone and what happened to his girlfriend. Days of Blood and Starlight, which is the second book in this series of Daughter of Smoke and Bone series by Elaine Taylor. It's a YA fantasy novel. I also got Night of Cake and Puppets by Elaine Taylor. I love this cover. I love this little book. It is really cute because it's got illustrations in it. And I love Susanna's like my favorite character in the series. And she's really into puppets, and I'm really into puppets. If you didn't know, I'm into puppets. I'm into puppets. Hence the channel name, The Reading Writing Puppet. This is a really beautiful book. Oh, also, if you want to see it naked, the naked book is very gorgeous. It's all beautiful. This one is my favorite, I think, of all of them, just because, like I said, I like Susanna's character so much more. And I'm a little confused on the whole story-ish, and the books are so big. But I do like them a lot. The Prince and the Dressmaker by Jen Wang. I saw Michelle over at Bookworm Sewist haul this. I think it was a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. And I think it was about a year ago. And she raved about it. She really loved it. And so I decided to read it. And I did really like it. It's really cute, really good graphic novel for young adult readers about cross-dressing. And it's about cross-dressing. And it's really cute. And I really like the story. I also got, because I need to haul them, because I already talked about these in my books that I haven't read yet haul section of this video, but the other Tru Blood comics 1, 2, and 3, which I did read because of Michael McMillan. It is all his fault that I'm insane. Actually, it's not. I'm insane all by myself. He has nothing to do with anything. But I really liked this story. I really love Tru Blood, and I want to finish reading the things, all the things. Stephen King's memoir on writing, a memoir of the craft. I have been reading a lot of Stephen King this year also. I got this one earlier this year, I think in the summer. And I read it, and I liked it, and it's good. Now for the section where you guys get to laugh at me and say how big of a dork I am, because the last few books are children's picture books. The Real Ghostbusters #1 by Janine's Genie, and this is by Kenneth Harper, and it is a children's picture book, and it's actually kind of, I think it's part of a episode also, but in novel form, and it's for children. I'm a huge Ghostbuster fan, the Real Ghostbuster fans, and Peter Venkman is my bae. I've always had a thing for Peter Venkman ever since I was little. I don't know why. Even before, like, Bill Murray, like, even the cartoon Peter Venkman. Oh, man. He's a sexy, sexy cartoon. I don't know. I'm strangely attracted to cartoons. Vader's Little Princess. This is like a Star Wars little series by Jeffrey Brown. It follows Darth Vader if he stuck around and raised his children for little children. These are the cutest little books. They're just adorable little things. Sometimes they don't make a lot of sense, but sometimes they do. And actually, I met the author, and he signed a few of these for me. I think it was these two. I have another one over there, but I didn't buy that one this year. So, Darth Vader and Son. Wait, this is not the one that I bought. Good Night, Darth Vader. Because he also signed this one. Picture signed. So yeah. So these two are the ones I bought this year because I had him sign them. This other one I already had from before. So this one's not part of the haul, but apparently it is now. The Princess and the Warrior by Tukan Tonatur. And this cute little children's picture book is about the mythology behind the volcanoes in Mexico City. ¿Cómo se llama? Popocatépetl and Iztaccíhuatl. They call it El Popo and Itza for short, but it's Iztaccíhuatl and Popocatépetl. So it's the legend behind it. It's about like how the Aztec princess fell in love with a warrior and everything, and it's got some nice illustrations, and it's really cute for little children. Labyrinth Coronation, Volume 2, the graphic novel by... Wait, is it all by all those people? I think it's by all those people, isn't it? By Simon Spurrier and Ryan Ferrier, illustrated by Daniel Bayles, Irene Flores, colored by Dan Jackson and Joshua Lafuente, and lectured by Jim Campbell. Character design by Kayla Vankervlogt, Danielle Labise, and cover and chapter breaks by Fiona Staples. So by a bunch of people. If you didn't know, which maybe you don't know, I'm a huge Labyrinth fan. It is my favorite movie of all time. And I love anything Labyrinth and Jim Henson. So I have this, I'm reading this graphic novel that is coming out by Archaia. And it's the untold origin of the Goblin King story. So it's like Renaissance, like takes place in Venice a lot of the times, but then it also like goes back and forth between like the story of Sarah and Toby and Jareth when he was younger and his mother and stuff. It's a little bit confusing, not gonna lie, but like I said, I'm a sucker for anything Labyrinth, so I buy anything Labyrinth. And I don't know if you can tell, but my little Labyrinth collection is up there. They're just kind of hanging out. You can see the Fiery's foot right there somewhere. I don't know. And that's it. That is my entire haul of books I've bought this year so far. I don't know when I'll see you again, but hopefully soon. I've been having a lot of computer issues, and my camera doesn't work anymore, and I couldn't get any of my other cameras to work, and it won't recognize my iPhone or my iPad, so I am now using Photo Booth, and I don't know how well it's gonna work, so it's all I got. That's what I'm working with, Photo Booth, because I upgraded my computer, and because I had to, because I couldn't get some websites to work. And so it deleted my Microsoft Word, my Microsoft Excel, and messed up everything. And it doesn't recognize my internal camera anymore. So yeah, or it doesn't recognize anything anymore. But I can pay my bills online, so that's a plus. Let me know if you've read any of the books that I've hauled here today, what you've thought about them, especially the books that I haven't read yet. If you've read those, which one I should read next, because I have a bunch of books that I haven't read that I've owned for years. But hey, let's read the newer ones first, because that makes no sense and it's very illogical, but whatever. Alright, I will see you guys next time. Like and subscribe. Bye.